I'm Wade, and welcome to a Wade a Minute. Actually, maybe longer than just a minute. But stay with me as I help you consider something that's going on in our culture today. Well, myself and my high-speed graphics. Wait a minute. There's a question today that a lot of individuals in our modern culture are asking. In fact, they are consumed with this question. And I would say it's the wrong question for us to be asking, especially after we've matured as adults and so forth and into our 20s and our 30s. We need to stop asking the question, do I matter? It's actually an egocentric, self-centered question that some individuals are consumed with their entire life. They never get past this question. And as a result, their entire life is all about self-consumption. Do I matter? In every situation, no matter what goes on. Well, what about me? What about me? What about me? And so we have a society, and I'm speaking for Americans because I live here in the United States. We are self-consumed, and we're always asking, do I matter? And no matter what happens, that's what individuals ask. There's a better question that we need to ask. Now, and the reason is because the question, do I matter, for those of us who are Christ followers, who believe in Jesus Christ, then that question's already been answered. God says this in Scripture, and most common Scripture of all, everybody knows John 3:16, for God so loved the world. The deal is that He sent His only Son. Do you matter? Yeah, you mattered. God sent His Son Jesus. You don't have to ask that question anymore. If you're a Christ follower, it's a done deal. You matter. And even if you're not a Christ follower, even if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, that doesn't negate the truth that you do matter to God. So stop asking the question, do I matter? And there's a stronger question, a higher form of that question that we must be asking. If we're going to ever see things in our world improve with all the chaos that is going on, we need to start asking another question, and that is, will I matter? The question that we should be asking in every situation is, will I matter? Not do I matter, because that's self-absorbing, and then all of a sudden we're ducking bullets because we're so worried about ourselves. But will I matter is what propels bold men to go into battle for a greater cause. It's what propels bold ladies to go into business and make a difference because they understand they're there for a greater cause. It's what true leaders step into political office for, because they say, I want to matter. Kennedy even said it here in the United States. He said, you don't ask what a country can do for you. It is, what can I do for my country? We have reversed things, though. We are so self-absorbed, and we've said, well, do I matter? Stop asking it. It's a question that does not apply any longer. After you're about 9 or 10 years old, you ought to move beyond that. A person should be well beyond whether or not they matter, and they should be asking, well, will I matter in today's world? I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and He had to come to a place where He had to make this decision as well. If you'll stay with me just a little bit longer, I'll paint the scenario for you. It was in the Garden of Gethsemane, we find out, just before He was crucified. And we see that He is in anguish, and He is in pain and mental pain, because He knows the suffering that's about to happen as He's crucified and spat upon and brutalized by His own creation, humans spitting in His face. So He's there in the Garden of Gethsemane, and He says, Father, if there's any other way, can this cup pass over me? In other words, can I skip this? If there's anything else. But then He says this, He says, not my will be done, but your will be done to the Father. So it's not about me, Father. It's about mattering for you, and it's about mattering in this world. Jesus boldly shows us the direction that we have to go as well. It's not, do I matter, but will I matter? I'm going to say this as well, and this, you may say, borders on heresy, but it is the truth. If Jesus in that moment had not decided to matter and to submit His will to the Father as an example for us, then He wouldn't have mattered to us. He wouldn't have died on the cross. He never would have risen again 3 days later, defeated death, and showed us the way to God the Father. He wouldn't have mattered to you and I. Will you matter? It's your decision. This has been a Wait a Minute. If you've liked this, pass it on to somebody else.